Howdy, Austin. My name is Emanuel Alejandro Delgadillo. Everybody knows me as Manny Fresh. Welcome to my podcast, Manny Sales Soiree. Welcome back to Manny Sales Soiree. We have a very special guest, another BXN member. So, Ryan Melendez with Truist Bank. Go ahead and can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Melendez. I'm a vice president and branch leader for Truist Bank here in Austin, Texas, specifically in the South Lamar area, South Austin.
Awesome. And then where are you from, Ryan?
I'm originally from Venezuela.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And then how long you been in Austin?
I've been in the States since 1992.
Oh, okay. I came in June of 1993 to the States.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I've been here for a long time.
Straight to Austin?
No, I went to New York first, then spent 6 months, and then spent 2 years in Florida, and then came back, came to Austin.
Yeah.
1995.
Okay, yeah. We gotta love and hate the stereotypes. Maybe because you're in New York, I thought you were Puerto Rican.
No.
Okay.
My wife's from Puerto Rico, but no.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. And then what brought you to Austin, Texas?
It was an opportunity. One of my friends that were living with me in Miami, South Florida, just came back here for the military, and
oh, you're in the military as well, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm in the Texas State Guard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, what got you into banking?
Well, it was I was in Dell. In that time, Dell computers back in the days, and then they restructure. I left the company, and then I went to different stages in my life. Then I ending in the payday loan industry, which is not something that you can feel proud about it.
Yeah.
But they give me the experience to customer service, sales, and then I transitioning to a local bank here in Austin. And then I spent a year and a half there, and had an opportunity to apply for a job with Branch Banking and Trust BB&T, who become Truist 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I've been there since then. So I've been in the bank for it's going to be 14 years in December this year.
Okay, awesome. And then you specialize in?
I specialize in small business.
Okay, small business lending, yeah. We had the opportunity to, through BXN, go to one of your seminars. Very good informational stuff, and that's kind of what we're here today. He's gonna educate us on small business loans as well, for small businesses, and I guess tell me what's new in the.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. I think this is very important things to talk about, especially with the times we're living right now with the economy. Things are moving around the government, the structure, everything. And we always forget about how we truly build relationship with the banks. And that's very important for us in Truist, is, follow our purpose, which is inspire and build better life in communities. And one of the things that we do is go into the community, educate the community in terms of access to lending, because one of the things that we really focus on is become lendable as a small business, right? You don't have to specifically become lendable just with me. And in general, our purpose is to just inspire you enough to you get lendable for everybody else.
Yeah.
So your business have a strong financial foundation that you can be lendable anywhere.
Yeah. And the Latino market, and us Latinos, we often are very uneducated when it comes to this, right? We think that I can go to the bank and like, hey, give me a loan, or sometimes they weave themselves out based on the process, right? I'm assuming sometimes they don't want to go through all the process. So is obviously this is a good educational aspect of it, but is like the Latino market where you focus at, or not necessarily?
No, not necessarily. Of course, me being Latino and bilingual definitely is an advantage. But I think that you touch very important points in terms of how do I access the bank? That is the main point. Even though if it's not a lending purpose, you have to be educated enough to understand our process. But I also blame our industry. I have to be honest, and being trustworthy is one of our values in the bank. Sometimes there's disconnection between the bank and the business. And because we are calling a necessary evil, if you put it that way, we're not evil. Banks are here to help you. It's a disconnection between our community and the banks, because we have a relationship. We don't understand each other.
Yeah.
So the bank also sometimes have a hard time understanding the Latino community, and Latino community understanding the banks. But besides the labels and stuff like that, I think the most important thing is understand that if you walk into a bank and the bank is not welcoming you, don't speak your language, or don't want to hear you, you should not bank with that bank.
Yeah.
That's what I think personally. So you have to looking for somebody or an institution that can actually help you out.
Yes.
And the best way to help you out is the banker has to understand your business. Because like I tell my clients and my students in my classes, is just the last thing I want to do as a banker is give you a loan you cannot pay, or having an obligation you cannot pay. So that's the main point. We have to as a bankers understand the purpose and what do you want to do with the money.
Yes.
It's not how much I can get. Right? Is how much I'll qualify for. That's one of the main things in terms of lending, at least for small business. So bridging that, or reach out to the community and close that gap between the banks and the community, and we understand each other is the best way to get a good banking relationship.
Okay, yeah, awesome. And then I have a couple questions for you, because I had a couple of possible maybe leads or impossible questions that they ask. One of them would be when it's somebody's like a sole proprietary of a business, eventually you would go obviously by the credit by the person right away because they don't have the business credit. And then at your seminar, you did educate us of how to separate the accounts. I'm assuming the first step from a sole proprietary would be to separate the business, get an LLC.
Absolutely. One of the things that we're looking at when we have a loan request or line request for small business is we start with you, with the business owner. That's very important because that's called a personal guarantee. So if you take care of yourself financially, you have a great credit, you pay your bills on time, most likely 100%, 90%, you're going to do the same behaviors on your small business financials, right? So you're going to pay your credit card, your business credit card online. You're going to pay your cars under your company on time. So on the sole proprietors, if your business is sole proprietor, you are the business. So your personal credit is basically everything. If you're depending of your business entity, LLCs, S corps, then it's different, right? We're separating the business from the person, right? So the business entity have their own credit, their own accounts, and it's separate from the business. Even though you manage the business, you are not the business. So that's very important. But the main point is what we call personal guarantee. The personal guarantee basically is telling the bank, hey, if my business cannot pay this obligation, I'm going to be personally responsible for that debt on my business. And that's why banks, 90% of the time, looking how your credit and your business, your credit and your personal financials are before you apply for a small business loan.
Okay. And then you talked about collateral at one point. So for somebody that would be basically just starting up and they would want a business loan or looking for a business loan, and can you talk about a little bit of the collateral that would be?
Absolutely. Well, the main point for us is understanding what's the purpose of the money. And once again, I always mention this. This is the second time I mentioned it today. We want to give you a loan you cannot pay. Absolutely. So for us as bankers and trusts, we have to define our purpose, right? What is going to be the purpose of this money? Then after that is when we determine if you would need a line of credit or if you need a loan. And then out of those Two, if it's a line of credit, you're not going to need a collateral, right? But if you want to purchase or refinance a commercial vehicle, then we're talking about collateral. If you want to purchase in the studio, you want to purchase a place for your business, an office, can be a barbershop, then we're talking about that will be the collateral, right? So that's a collateral. We can use equipment, we can use different things. But the equipment has to qualify for the business. If you have a restaurant and you want to buy an oven or a tortilla maker, which is those runs about $35,000 to $45,000 depending on what you want to do with it, that we can use that as a collateral, right? But there's some collaterals that do not qualify into the bank criteria. So that's why every bank have different ways to see collateral, and it's very important that you have a conversation with the banker before you apply or do anything.
Okay, gotcha. So going back to the accounts, one thing that I took away from your seminar was that you also want to separate the accounts, right? So one would be like a business expense, and then can you touch a little bit more what the other ones would be?
And the accounts are important, right? But in general, what I'm mentioning is, and I always say this in my seminars, there's more banks and pharmacies in Austin or in Texas, right? There's a lot of banks, national, local, credit unions. Yeah. But unfortunately, bankers, they give you an advice, have time to understand your business, is the numbers really low, right? How many people here, if you see me here, how many times you have a banker on your cell phone you can call and ask questions? That's one of the things that we lack on the banking industry sometimes. But cash flow is very important. And the only way I can see how you manage your cash flow is through the accounts. So if you have one account for your business, if you are in the starting phase, having one account is perfectly fine. Because it's understandable, you're starting your first 18 months. It's understandable. When you start growing, you start having employees, you want to have a cash reserve, then the cash flow become a little bit more important because you need to diversify it, right? So we want to see how the business actually pay his operating cost, the payroll, then the tax, and the savings, which is very important. For if you don't have no savings account for your business, that's crucial. That's very important. So if you diversify in different accounts, sometimes can be difficult to keep track, but it's possible. You can control your cash flow more effective. Yes. So you utilizing your own bank accounts to see where the money is going. When you ask yourself, man, where's this money going? All you need to go back to the account, check the bank statements on your operating account, your payroll account, your tax account, and your savings account. You can see where the money is going. Yeah. Right. So basically, like if I take a customer out to eat, and then they tell account, okay, expense it, but it shouldn't be the money that it's hold against for like our payroll, right? Like correct. It would be, correct. As Ryan would say, red flags. Red flags, yes, yeah. Red flags. So yeah, for us, it's just very important, right? Because you only have one account and you use that business account like a personal account. That's a huge mistake because that has to do a lot with the personal guarantee and your character towards the money that your business generating. Right. So honestly, I have highly respect for business owners on any level, because not only you have the responsibility to manage a business in terms of generating revenue, but you also have the responsibility to put somebody else food on the table, right? Yeah. Somebody else family depends on your business to lead. You know, that's a huge responsibility. So. Yeah. And one of probably my biggest takeaway was your process and so I'll have you explain it because I'll probably butcher it. But I remember the process of you kind of being like the liaison when that goes to the underwriter, right? So this is why you guys take a little bit of better time in like understanding, the business, the
personal life of your client, what they want to do with a business loan, all the good stuff, and then so you can go out and basically fight with the underwriter.
Yeah,
like if it's going to get denied or approved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where you're talking about the outcome when you requesting a loan, a small business loan or line of credit, even a credit card. So because our bank is based on relationships, when you apply to me, you get declined. It's our obligation to give you an explanation.
Yeah.
At least a moral responsibility.
Yeah.
You're gonna receive a letter because we fully regulated as a bank. You're gonna receive a letter saying, "Hey, you've been denied." Sometimes people are like, "Okay, you deny me, but what's behind the denial?" Or not even denial. Sometimes we have a counter offer, or we have an approval, right? Even if we have an approval, I'm gonna talk to the underwriter because we want to learn more about the process. So we are part of the loan process, which is the origination, the processing, and the final underwriting decision. So if you get an adverse decision, which is a decline, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the underwriter and say, "Hey, why?" And our underwriters are in North Carolina, but they want to hear the story.
Yes.
Right? They want to see, "Hey, how do you get this opportunity?" "Well, I met this guy in BXN. He's been coming from another state, but the business has been open for a long time. And why you denying him?" "Well, this is why. The cash flow is weak. And this is what we need. So if there's any way we can revise this, fix this piece, and get a counteroffer or approval."
Yes.
And sometimes they say, "Yeah, we can work something. If he can fix this piece or maybe provide this documentation, I can reconsider."
Yes.
And I can give an opportunity.
Yeah.
So and I communicate that with the client. So we became part of the team. And we favor the clients.
Yeah. And that's awesome, because obviously, like if you go to anywhere, most of the time you just get the letter, right? And like, "Hey, I can't do it." But Truist and Ryan, it seems like you guys want to not only educate the customer, but kind of maybe set him up for success so that he can come back at a later time and then actually get the loan approved. Besides, obviously, business lending is your expertise.
Small business lending, yes.
Small business lending, sorry. But I'm assuming Truist has all the other services?
Absolutely. We're a full-service bank. And for those that don't know, Truist is a brand new name in the banking community, but we've been around for over 275 years because we became from the merger between BB&T and SunTrust. I'm Heritage BB&T, and BB&T was formed in 1872 and SunTrust in 1828. So we're we have a long history in banking in terms of being the banking system in the United States. So we're a big, huge regional bank. When BB&T and SunTrust merged, we became the 7th largest bank in the United States. We're a full service bank. We're here to compete with the 3 big guys, but I think we're still having the a small bank mentality, like our CEO Bill Rogers says. We're not only the business to be a bankers, we're in the business to be an advisor for our clients.
Gotcha.
And that's where the care word is for us is super important, right? Gotcha.
So I do have another question from someone that said, if they're sole proprietaries, they're just barely starting up to open an LLC or get a business going, and they're looking for a small business loan, and they can put a house as collateral. How does that work with a business loan? Because it's equity, right? So right away they would go, well, I can just get an equity loan based on having a property. But does that work with a business loan, with a small business loan?
Yes and no. It all depends on, like I mentioned earlier, every bank has different ways to evaluate collateral. Some banks or credit unions would not like to use a house as a collateral for a business because for that, we have home equity lines or loans.
Gotcha.
And it's different, right? Now, if you wanted to leverage the collateral, be in the business for a long I mean, the seniority of your business is important. So how long you've been established? And this is very important to clarify that, because that's one of the major roadblocks for small business when it first started, right? And I want to, I'm not trying to make publicity here, but there is a TV show called The Shark Tank. Everybody very familiar with the Shark Tank. So when you see the Shark Tank, the participant shows up in the stage, and you have all the sharks in front of you. So think about that. That's their banks, right? And they start asking questions to see a lot of things. First, they want to see if you're profitable. That's the main point for the sharks, right? Then they ask other questions to see how much you're involved in your business, how much of you really care about the business, right? And the other questions about the outcome, right? So banks are the same way. The only thing is, you're not going to show up on a TV show, but you're going to go to an office and they're going to ask you questions that, are you profitable? No, I'm not, because I just started the business yesterday. That's one of the things. So you got to think about that. So are you ready for that? So I love to start with businesses that are 2 days old. Why? Because that's a great opportunity for you to start planting the seeds. And one of the things that you got to understand in the small business, from the banking perspective, that patience is an investment. If you're a business owner or entrepreneur, and you have your business, you want to start it, you need funding, it's going to take time. Banks will not lend you if you're, or it's difficult to lend if you are not the first 2 years, because you have to show me numbers. Yes, have a business plan, financials is very important, but if you don't have the actual numbers to show and say, hey, this year I make this much, and 6 months I'm making this much, then it's going to be a challenge for you to obtain funding for your business. Right? So that's one of the things you want to understand. So I think the first 18 months is where you have to establish a relationship with the bank. That's my advice, right? Then a bank or credit union, they really understand what are you trying to do. That's the main point. Then after that, you have to start creating credit for your business, manage your cash flow, because you're the expert on that business. You know how to produce and sell, you understand the product. So that's something I can't help you, because, I don't know anything about making bread or anything like that, right? So, but on the banking side, I can definitely help you in understanding cash flow, get access to a small business credit card, which is a lot of, there's banks like us and Truist, where it doesn't matter how long you've been in business. If you have your business register, you have an EIN, or you're even a sole prop, if you have good credit, good personal guarantee, I can give you a credit card. Can be for $5,000, for $1,000. But for those $1,000 on a small business credit card, it's going to generate business credit, and the business credit is going to help you in 18 months to obtain not only 1,000, maybe 5,000. You start growing. So if you think about it, we growing with you, right? Maybe you need 2 accounts, then you start growing. Oh, I need to start put savings accounts. So let me open the savings account with Ryan. And then after that, hey, guess what? I'm going to hire my first person. How am I going to pay this person? Then you open your payroll account, and you start writing checks or doing ACH, just direct deposit from there. So that's something that you have to think about, it, right?
What is your typical, I guess it would be, I don't know if it's average or typical reason for lending? Is it a business looking for cash flow? Is it for to get them off the hump, or is it to buy equipment, to put a brick and mortar, for rent? What is your?
It's a variety of
okay.
reasons, right? That we can give. I can give you a technical answer, but basically, in my experience in this almost 14 years in this, doing small business, is basically people want to either expand or buy equipment.
Okay.
Right. When I talk about expand, even when they first started, they want, I have a conversation with a guy that came to our office Wednesday and asking for $30,000 to buy a food truck for, he wants to do that, food trucks to do Japanese tea. But he's a DBA and then registered the business on Monday.
Yeah.
So he need $30,000, and I was like, at this point, all I can help you out is with the accounts and the small business credit card if you're interested. But his personal guarantee was not up to date, so there's a lot of work we can do with him. But he walked out thinking that just, hey, give me $30,000 and it's going to be that easy. It's not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And for some people, maybe to understand, personal guarantee would be his credit, right?
Correct.
Because
personal guarantee have to do with the credit, and credit is divided into the score and the actual credit report. I have people that thinking about, I have 800 credit score. That's phenomenal, but they never had any type of loan or credit card. Just basically one credit card or one auto loan or something very small in that, because you pay that off, you pay that on time, it creates a good credit score. But it doesn't mean the credit history is not that strong, so you can even get denied.
Yeah, gotcha.
So that's the thing.
Going back to a home equity versus a loan, what if the property's paid off? So we switch into personal, right? Retail.
If you were talking about home equity lines, which is right now is a good opportunity to do a home equity line. The home equity line are attached to your house. Basically, the equity you have available for to be utilized, right? We have a lendable equity and marketable equity. Marketable equity basically is when you put your house is paid off, that automatically help you because you don't have to worry about any mortgages or anything like that, right? Home equity lines never touch your mortgage. We want to see your mortgage pay on time, but have nothing to do with your mortgage.
Okay, but so you wouldn't be able to use a house as a collateral for a business?
For a small business, and true is not.
No. Oh, okay, interesting. I was going to ask, well, I guess this is probably out of your realm, because they asked me this and they said, what if I have a quitclaim deed versus a trust? But I guess it wouldn't matter on a business.
It wouldn't matter on a business, no.
Okay. And why is it that a house wouldn't be a collateral for
because house are attached to you, not to the business, and the house will not. And it also depends on what type of how you structure your business, right? If you have a partnership, and it's depending on the partnership. If you have a house, you're gonna put your house, but what about the other partner?
Gotcha.
If you want to put your house, but your partner says, "Well, that's your problem," then that's is risky for the banks as well, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to evaluate. All we do every day is evaluating risk.
Yeah.
So if you're a single owner, it's different. But if you have a partnership, then okay, why this owner alone is going to put their house? What about the other ones? It's something you have to think about it.
Gotcha. And, we talked about, obviously when you register your business and you have an EIN number and you have a W-9, which is your tax credit. But you mentioned Duns & Bradstreet. Why is that important?
That company helps to record business activities on your credit report. So if you register your business with Duns & Bradstreet, they assign you a number called DUNS. With that DUNS number, you can actually have your financial information on your business credit. So it's a business credit report agency, basically. You can obtain that number for free, if I'm not mistaken. And they help you to record that. And also financial information and trades, which is also companies that provide you, like if you have a restaurant and Restaurant Depot, no publicity, but Restaurant Depot can report that through Dun and Bradstreet.
Gotcha. And then, do you have a personal favorite type of customer business? You know, like what is so easy?
I love insurance companies.
Okay.
Realtors are good. Construction companies as well.
They're very good at numbers. That's why I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly.
They're very good with their numbers, especially like somebody in the finance or a real estate agent. Okay. And then you mentioned that maybe right now business lending it's on a hike.
Well, I mean, actually, in general, right? Today is a good opportunity to have a home equity line. That's something that home equity lines on the personal side you can use a home equity for almost everything. And they're really flexible. You get money from the equity you already pay in your house, and you can use that money for whatever you want, and that helps a lot. But in a small business lending too, it depends on you have to do your research like everything else. For example, on True Small Business, we are offering line of credits and business loans up to $50,000 just with personal guarantee, and if the business is over 2 years and up, we don't ask for any financials. That's why the personal guarantee is very important.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. And how's the market, now with, I guess, elections over and interest rates and stuff like that? Do you see any changes?
Yeah, absolutely. I know people are economy based on human behaviors and financial markets as well, right? We have a new president that is doing, the best he can, and we respect that. But there's a lot of questions still on the air, and see what's going to happen with the tariffs. But the market's opening. That's what we're seeing right now. The opportunity is growing, and I think after the meeting with the FDI, with the Federal Reserve on the March 18, 19, they didn't touch the rates. That for us an indication there might be an opportunity for the market to improve, and I think that the time to get ready for that stage is now. So
gotcha. And I have a question: is a small business loan and a line of credit would be different on a business level?
Absolutely. Okay. The loan is for one-time need. I need this oven or this car. You obtain the loan, you purchase your asset.
You make money and
pay it off, and that's it. If you want something else, you have to reapply. The good thing about a small business line of credit is just for working capital needs, right? I have this contract, roofers, realtors. I have this contract right now. That's going to cost me $50,000, but I have $50,000 line of credit. So I put the money in, I get paid, you pay me, and then the line go right back to $50,000. It's like it's having a huge credit card with a lower interest rate.
Gotcha.
So this is a revolving credit, and doesn't expire right away.
Yeah, in our industry, that's kind of like the easiest one for us, because obviously that's where we use do the payroll for our external employees. And then we bill the customer, we pay the employees, and then we pay off the line of credit, and like I said, revolving back again to reuse that. Okay. So what else can you educate us on?
Yeah, I just very important. I think going back to the more banks and pharmacies here in Texas, at least, and in Austin, I think our industry is something that is necessary. At the end of the day, please think about that, right? When I start my first business, nobody wants to lend me any money. And I get it. I understand. There's a lot of miscommunication between the banks and the small business community. I think this is one of the things that I take as a bandana or flag or crusade for me as a banker, in terms of trying to close the gap between the small business community and the bank, especially with Truist Bank. That we gotta understand that we need each other.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you walk into a financial institution, it can be a bank or credit union, and you're not satisfied, you have to looking for that advisor. That person is going to tell you, hey, I'm going to be completely honest with you, trustworthy, and this is what's going to happen, right? I want to be your primary bank, but if I cannot help you with something, you're more than welcome to looking for somebody else, but I'm going to still be your banker.
Yeah.
Be your banker. You grab your cell phone and you have my phone number. You can text me, call me, and it's going to be an answer for you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to be the answer you're looking for,
Yeah.
but at least you have somebody you can, rely on
Yeah.
in terms of banking.
Yeah, and that's after my heart, because I try to say that I might not be that old, but I'm old school. I love long-lasting relationships. That's how we operate, and that's how I do my sales. It's education, customer service overall before that transaction.
Absolutely.
Transactions come by themselves later on when you foster and nurture that relationship, and when you got to be real genuine as well. To do that, right? Because it should come out naturally, and that's one thing I loved about Ryan, and I took away from his seminars is like the genuine part of the banks is there. It's not a bank trying to get you, type of thing. So, how can people get a hold of you?
I'm in big guy on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. So you can find me, Ryan Melendez. Connect with me, and also on BXN. I'm BXN website, bxnmembers.com. You can look over there, and there's a link. You actually directly make an appointment with me. If you want to just grab a cup of coffee, have a video conference, or in my office. I love to visit people's businesses. It's going to give me a sense of how involved the business owner in the business, right?
Yes.
That for me as a banker, that's very important. But that's the best way to find me.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. And then can you tell us where your branch is located? So
my office is in South Austin, in South Lamar, 3508 South Lamar Boulevard, Suite 100. But like I said, you can look into Truist.com as well, put the zip code, and my office is going to be there, South Lamar. But if you want to contact me, and I can go to your business or grab a cup of coffee somewhere, and you don't have to be in my office or in your office. So
gotcha.
I'm very flexible.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I guess leave me with, for new entrepreneurs, business owners that just starting their career, what kind of advice a little bit, I guess, outside of the banking, what can you prepare, and what kind of advice should be doing
Absolutely.
in order for?
I think the main thing for me, based on my experience, is patient. You have to be patient. Number one. Why? Because that's your biggest investment. If you be patient, it works. Number two, have a planning. Have the right tools to planning your business. That include business plans, financials. So educate yourself pretty much. That's very important for a business owner to understand, because being an expert on your area, that's very important too. Understand what are you actually doing, and what are you trying to do. At the end of the day, for us, that's very important.
Okay. And then what about one advice that they could do involving banking that would be something very simple that most maybe business owners overlooked?
The banks are here to help you.
Awesome.
That's a very misconception of, they're just, they're trying to get me, or they never call me, they never care about me. And it's sometimes, unfortunately, I have to recognize that it's true in our industry, but not all the banks are that way. And in my experience as a banker, I can tell you that my clients sometimes, they're tired of me calling and being on email them that we don't even call customers, we're calling clients. With clients, you build relationships and trust. We don't use the word customers, we use the word clients. So my only advice I can tell somebody that is starting the business, or has been in business for a long time and see distance from banks, is go do your research. And when I say research, it's not just looking Google or on any other website that it's like, 5 stars, 3 stars. No. go and meet with a person, like you say,
Yep.
old school. Not everything's on the cell phone,
Yeah.
or social media. Go meet with somebody face to face and say, hey, this is what I need. This is what I'm looking for. Can you help me out? If the answer is uncertain, walk away looking for the next one.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate
All right, thank you.
the
I appreciate
time
your
and
time.
education. So, Ryan Melendez with Truist Bank. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.